This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Wengine wetu tumekuja kuokota wengine majina tu na kuitwa kama wao.
I agree that names should have should bear meaning. They should.
Yes.
One day I'll tell you mine and the full meaning. But for now, let's go.
Utadu.
Ochanda in Luo means kusumbua.
The prince who sumbua.
Kusumbua.
Na wewe ulisumbua mimi kwa maidi kwa interview juzi.
Kwa interview juzi alikusumbua.
Nilimsumbua akasema ni fitina.
Sema hiyo ni fitina.
Today we go to the people of Eswatini.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, in the southern part of the continent, surrounded by South Africa. Interesting proverb. I'd love to get what you think about this. Only a fool tests the depth of a river with both feet.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we have a responsibility of getting Ruto out of power.
I knew.
Yes. And it is not just a walk in the park. It's lazima tufanye kazi. Yeah. Lakini hii tunaingia na miguu yote. This will jump with both legs.
Feet. Okay. In this case, it's not foolish, is what you're saying. All right.
He will jump in. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Wakenya wameamua.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Eswatini say, and it's interesting that you can now take that to a different kind of meaning.
Yeah, I think it means, that it's always wise to ensure that you have a fallback position or you have a way of getting out of a scenario if it is not helping. Yes.
If it's troublesome.
It becomes troublesome. Anything you're trying, there must be a way out.
True. Okay.
Even if it's not politics. Yeah.
People have been saying many things, and politics is perception to a large extent. Doesn't matter where you practice your pedigree of politics. That to a certain extent it is perception.
Yes.
Have you, Jeremiah, in the recent past, with things that you have been saying or positions that you have been taking, giving direction to the party to the Jubilee party in terms of how it must operate, be more bullish, come out and state the position, be very clear about whether you're going to join a united opposition or not? Have you been saying this by the words that you've been speaking and saying, be like others or just be Jubilee?
One of the things that is clear is that, or one of the things that I would want to state is that when you are the SG, there is some amount of gagging that comes with it that is provided for by the constitution of parties. Because you are unagojea kwa mkutano ndio useme kwa hii mkutano tulisema. But when you are not the SG, you also have an eye view. And perhaps able to say a few more things. One of the things I believe about Jubilee is that Jubilee has been there, led this country for 10 years, was there at the beginning of the opposition 2022. We have shaped the narrative since 2022. You may remember me moving around with Tinga wearing sufuria.
Yes.
And the only other person who was quite willing to carry the sufuria so out publicly was Sifuna. We were out there being tear gassed, shot at. We then moved and did Remuru 3 with Mother Wagare, Karua, the then NAC, now PLP. And we formed something else that was bad mouth that we were calling Kamwene.
Yes.
All these movements were not idle movements. No, we were trying to call out people and telling them, Nikubaya. And the direction we are taking, it is not good. And don't wait for too long. Things might get to a point of no return. So we had, these are things that we saw, we claimed early enough, and we were called all names, including I was called Mugoroki, what.
When you called people Tugege?
When others called, no, I never called anybody Tugege. Others said the problems you're having is because you have Tugeges. It's not me. I also read that like
you just read
reading.
it. Okay.
And like you're looking for the meaning of names, you may want to find out what that also means.
Crows. You told me specifically, actually, that it means crows.
This kabad that is always available where you are slaughtering animals.
Vultures.
No, crows.
No,
It's a
the
crows.
one that's saying, the
crows.
That is why the kagege. And we've been in that journey. We then said we needed to get ourselves. Then there was the fight for trying to kill Jubilee Party, a vicious battle that we did in the courts. When we were fighting for it, there were many people who were telling me, why are you wasting your time? The party is just a name. Go to the ORPP and get another name and move on. And I say no. And I can tell you, even people to sign affidavits to support where my cause was not easy. So when we now are in a different space where we have secured all this, we have Jubilee Party intact as a national party. We have a national leader as a presidential candidate who has a national appeal. He's joined others. We now have some of those who are fighting us in the government are now with us. So there's nothing like fighting one another from that angle. And it's now a question of ensuring that now that all of us have come to where we were always saying we should have been from day one, even as the handing over was going on at Kasarani 2022, it is you need to be a little clearer in our mind. So it is nothing more. It's just perhaps asking ourselves, can we move faster? For example, what is the narrative that we want to take there as Jubilee Party? What does it mean to those who want to run on our party?
Yes.
Are we going to start with them? One of the things that many parties, other than I keep saying DCP, I admire what, or I like, maybe I not admire, maybe admiring is a strong word. I like what Gachagua has been doing with DCP. You need to be clear that as an aspirant, if I'm an aspirant or for the seat of Daragwa, for example,
yes,
the question I ask myself is, I am going to run on this party. Is this party going to be there for me when the day comes? Am I going to get a nomination certificate? Are they even going to be there when elections are called? Are they going to be on the side of the people when elections are called? So all these things are the things that go through the mind of an aspirant. And the most important thing now, today, is to understand what are aspirants looking for and prepare your party to be that party that people can use to achieve what aspirants are looking for or what Kenyans are looking for. And I say that because, for example, if as an aspirant, I imagine that we are going to get into something called zoning.
Yes.
Then that is it's almost a no-go zone for some people who are aspiring. Because zoning, you are actually saying you want to be zoned out. It happened to us 2022, we had zoning between ourselves and ODM. And we agreed this region will be ODM, this region will be Jubilee. And there are very many people who lost seats in Jubilee because of that zoning. So it is something that is feared a lot when it is mentioned within the corridors of Jubilee Party. So I do not think that there is anything more. It's that I could be sounding not bullish, but I could be sounding like I'm saying things that have not been seen yet, but they are going to be there.
It almost sounds as though...
Let me tell you, Mount Kenya Legion, the things that also people are not saying is that the two parties that are going to battle it out, it's no longer UDA in its form that we know it, but it's going to be DCP and Jubilee.
So
if it's not clear in the minds of those who want to run for seats within Jubilee, then they have not woken up.
Between the
two.
But it sounds as though
DCP is very clear that our opponent is this region is Jubilee. And you can tell you will bash Ruto But hapa kwa ground, it is chama hapa ni DCP. When you hear that word, it means if you thought of running with another party in that region, you are the one being addressed. You are the one being told, join us or you perish.
So are you saying that Jubilee, this is your party, you are the deputy party leader of Jubilee?
Yes.
Are you saying that Jubilee is unclear about the position that it has taken and is seemingly unclear to the ground about the position that it has taken?
No, it is not. Jubilee is not loud, has not been loud enough.
Okay.
Because of where we were coming from. And when we wanted to start getting louder, DCP came and got even louder. And now what we need to do is to take the megaphones and move around and say, we are here. Usifikirie, unakumbuka ile hadithi ya ilikuwa tortoise and this other thing is called what, chameleon or even sugura. It is sugura and chameleon. Yeah, sasa unaenda kukaa chini unasema hapana, usitukalie, tulifika kitambo.
No, ilikuwa kwa mkia wake.
Ilikuwa kwa mkia. So I think it is important wale wanakuja wajue kwamba Jubilee iko. And I am happy that the party has decided to feud at Olkarau. There was that was another waiting game, and I can tell you people were waiting. Aspirants were waiting to see how is Jubilee going to behave at Olkarau, and it's not over yet. It's still now a question of what kind of support is going to be offered to the candidate. Now that we have a candidate in at Olkarau. Kwa hivyo hapa sasa game sio ile tu. It's no longer just the one term. One term Kenyans have said, pack it there. We all are there. Now it is a question of how are we behaving towards when we are here, how are we behaving all over. And it's a very different ballgame. I want to tell you, that's why you, a party that wants to survive in this must be a bit more, actually it's going to be laugh. Let nobody tell you anything else. When we now go to the ground and you want to win the seat at Olkarau, as Kegwa, who is our candidate there. And you'll be looking at who are the other people competing with you.
Yes.
You'll be looking at DCP and you'll be looking at hata UDA iko. Lakini UDA iko pale na UDA iko huko. Lakini mwenye una compete naye hapa ni DCP.
Do you think DCP is... sorry.
Mheshimiwa, you're talking about you're going all out to face DCP. I hope Kegwa is clear in his mind.
People are actually in the united opposition or alternative government. Do you think these friendly fires will consume your people? Because remember, you've also been labeled as a mole within the united opposition.
I don't know whether I'm being labeled as a mole.
DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua side. Because of course he was referring to you.
I don't know whether he was referring to me. I know he said there's a mole.
The pointers were pointing at you because you had an interview in the previous day. You had an interview in a radio.
But there were many interviews that day.
Yeah, but you were the common denominator.
Well, then
and from the way you are talking,
then I am somebody you must listen to. Yeah, kama watu wote ambao walifanya interview siku hiyo ni mimi tu walisikiza. Lazima niwe kuna kitu ninasema. Lakini kabla hiyo, and just hold your, I want you to think of what are the characteristics of a mole. We can come back to that. Carry on with your question.
The second part of the question was, do you think these friendly fires and sibling rivalry will rupture the united opposition? Because you people appear to be...
It is the responsibility of every leader within the united opposition. Every leader within the united opposition to nurture that unity. There is no one superior guy to the others. We all are in that space. And if I tell you that you thought, like I have walked in and told Madam here, you are wearing XYZ party's color, and you want to say something else, hiyo sasa ni shida yako. It is, what is it that is uniting us? If you ask me, what is uniting us are the people issues. And these Kenyans are uniting us because they themselves are already in the one term. And they are telling you, be together. And if there is anything that we see that is not helping us being in their space, if you call it out, and another one thinks that you are a mole, kuna shida. Na kabla hata niseme zaidi ya mole, you know, one of the things I think are more, if you are receiving anything, any payment from government, kama wewe unakula pesa kutoka consolidated fund, uko na askari ambaye anaangalia wewe ama anakuendesha kwa gari. Yes, you are enjoying those services from the government. Then the government is able to keep tab of what you are doing more than any other person. So this definition of a mole, we must start being very careful when you call others moles. And when I tell you that don't insult this lady, it is not going to help us get the followers of this lady to our side of the camp, and you think I'm a mole, then there's a problem. Again, if you were in government and I was fighting you when you were in government, it's because I was in the opposition. So when you have come to the opposition,
Don't carry the grudge.
don't come and fight us in the opposition. Join us and join the opposition so that we can fight the government. So if you come and start disrupting the opposition and calling others mole, you will alienate them. And there is not a single person who should get laid off. Mwendawazi mmoja akienda kwa soko aanze kusema hawa watu wachana na wao, haitasaidia sisi kama united opposition. I don't know whether you get what I'm talking about.
Getting, yeah.
This unity is a very fragile thing. You are trying to unite yourself, come together to deal with the sitting government. And you opened up with that saying from West Africa. Kwa ati ya kwamba hii mto, you know, the river, you throw one leg before you, because it's a deep thing, you can get swallowed. So we are dealing with a very shrewd politician who has the reins of power. So if you now bring disunity in this side, na uanze kugonga wale ambao hata ni karibu walizaliwa kwa opposition, I don't think that is useful. Number two, when you say the unity of the opposition is because it is the unity of values, views, and all these things that you bring to the table and win. And I invite my colleagues in the opposition to go through the story of Hungary. How did this Hungarian guy win the government? How did he defeat the deep state that has been there for 16 years, 20 years, if you count the total number of years he had ruled? And it calls for a little more than what one thinks. It calls for accommodating that the one-term lulling call in Mount Kenya and the one-term lulling call in Western Kenya, while it is one term, it is pushed by different factors. And you must respect the factors of Western Kenya. And those Western Kenya must respect the ones in Mount Kenya and allow that then it is the coming together of those issues and the respect for those regions that would help us deal with the incumbent. So it's unfortunate. I've said this and I want to say this again. My friend now, Ligiji, I have no business fighting him. I have no reason to fight him. And I wouldn't want to spend any amount of energy fighting him or any other person in opposition. And I don't think they should spend any energy trying to be scared of my views, scared of me. I hold these views. You can go through my history. One of the things I never do is I never release my blame. Whatever it is I'm doing, I always retain it and I say it as it is when I can. And I can tell you, we have a golden opportunity to change the things as they are within government. There is time, but that time is inasonga haraka. You know, within the united opposition tuko na kazi ya kufanya. We need to define ourselves. For example, if you use this as an example, when we went to Bere with a candidate from DP. And this DP candidate had actually been borrowed from the bus. And all the other parties had agreed that for as long as we can get, in fact, the starting point is at Inikiti DP. Then Lenny Kivuti said, I have a better candidate than the one that is being fielded by DP. And the United team said, then that candidate must move from your party to the party of DP. And we had a candidate at the Jubilee. We had to step him down to a point where we even reimbursed some of the costs that he had already incurred campaigning. Why? Because we wanted to ensure that this unity of the united opposition holds, and we are not blamed for lacking it or locking it in any manner. I thought the same would happen at Olkarau. Yeah, this is a deep Jubilee seat. And I thought everybody would be saying, Hallelujah, Jubilee eventually have something to do. Lakini sasa tuko pale. Kwa hivyo, we still are not making noise. We are saying, sasa kama umesema tupabane, tuko pale. And so give us the credit also.
Mheshimiwa, the united opposition, the conglomeration of parties, initially it was a cocktail, but it now appears like a concoction.
I don't know the difference.
There must be a difference.
I think
you have a lot
like
of problems.
Sorry?
You have a lot of problems as Jubilee Party. Court problems. Courts have they're not recognizing the party leadership changes.
No. It is not. One is that there are no problems. That I can tell you. You can never get Jubilee back in problems. The constitution that we have is very different from what was there before. Before you could walk in and throw shida kwa Jubilee. Leo, the veto power is the party leader. He can deal with all the issues that come before him. And I can tell you that those who wish to run on a party, the only stable party today, New Jubilee.
Okay.
And I will tell you why.
Why?
Many reasons, including that we have now a constitution that is answering to the times that we are in, and you can look for that copy of the constitution. If ODM had a similar constitution, they would not be having the difficulties that they are in now, because nobody would have had the ability to split it, and that as it is the case. Number two is that unlike all these other parties that are trying to fundraise using aspirants, whipping aspirants, actually some of them extorting from aspirants, at least Jubilee can have some funding from the government, so they're able to run some of the costs through funding from the state as it is provided for under the constitution. The only other party that is doing that is getting that kind of funding is ODM and Wiper, some extent kidogo kwa DAPK. But all these other parties must really extort from the aspirants. And the aspirants cannot they cannot sustain this battle against the state. Kutoka pesa kidogo unauza ya masiwa na kuuza kuku na mayai hapa na pale, and you're fighting with a guy who is has an access to the consolidated fund. So that's another challenge that will come to the united opposition. And sooner than later you'll see that exhaustion. Kwa sababu hiyo si kitu rahisi. When we were providing for this under the constitution and against the government of the day then, which was being led by Kibaki, it was that realization that opposition will always be struggling for funds. And since they are doing the public work, why also not allow them to access the public resources? But for you to access the public resources, you start by winning. Kwa hivyo lazima kwanza utembee peke yako ndio uweze kushikwa mkono pale mbele. Na it's not easy. We are looking at a near the 3 months down the line, and I am telling you, you will see that is something that will come in the way of united opposition. Hiyo ni kitu ambayo lazima tujue tutapambana naye kwa njia gani. Kwa hivyo I am not sure that we have the problems that you would want to talk about, for the reason that the people themselves are the ones in the opposition. So the leadership we have is the one looking for space among the people's minds. Unlike before, since 1992 we have been there. Tulikuwa tunasubuana na watu na serikali ilikuwa na zaidi karibu nusu ya watu ambao hawakuwa kwa opposition. This time loud, you are looking at 80 and 90% of Kenyans in the opposition. Actually, it is in the regions of 1 in 9 in 10. 1 in 9 in 10 are in the opposition.
So are you saying that there's are you saying, Jeremiah, that there is a united opposition?
Yes, there is.
There is.
Yes.
And it is
Kenyans
possible,
are united in the opposition.
I'm talking about the individuals who are putting themselves up for positions of leadership in the political parties. There are different ones, from Jubilee to DCP to ODM to, I don't know about ODM, to PLP to everybody, right? But everybody seems to have the person who they would wish to be the president, for example, or want to run under different parties. Is it necessary to have a united opposition in truly what unification means, to say that if your goal is to remove the government of the day, for example, that everybody needs to steer the course and say, put down the gauntlet and select this one person who's going to push our collective agenda? Does that come into consideration?
If you ask me, I will say that yes, we need to have this one person whom we now rally behind, so that Kenyans can focus and be able to say, hapa ndio na kichwa yao iwe. But there is also, of course, a danger to it, because if you identify the candidate too early, you overexpose him and the government can start working on him. In that way, if you now call political parties that are in the opposition into a room, they will walk in there and they know themselves. So if there is that unity of purpose, as whether we have been able to reduce everything into writing, it's one of the challenges that any united coalition must go through. We went through it at Azimio. Fortunately for the opposition this time around, I know it's not a position that is shared by many, Azimio coalition is still existing.
Yes.
And it is recognized in law, provided for, including all the way to RPP and even in Parliament. If it wasn't for the misbehavior of Junet, and you can call him or tell him that when he's seated here, and Wetagura, we will be having a clear position of the minority versus majority within Parliament. And in Parliament, it is Azimio versus KK. Unfortunately, those who were elected on those tickets went and kept quiet. So people may think that Azimio is not there. But the truth is that our institution of Parliament is composed of Azimio and KK members of Parliament. And so the opposition has that one advantage, which was not there 2022. Now we have a registered coalition within which the united opposition can work from. This united opposition grouping can work from within Azimio. And that is where we have Mheshimiwa Stephen Kalonzo as the chairman, as the leader of that. The chairman is Uhuru Kenyatta, as a leader of Azimio. And I believe that sooner than later he should be able to call those of us who are in the opposition and who believe in Azimio together. And that way we may start giving more confidence to those Kenyans who are asking the questions I hear coming from you this morning.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's just interesting because I've just seen a comment. It was kind of like, almost twinning to my question, is that the speed of the people is not the speed of the leader that's being taken at this moment. And it sounds as you're urging your presidential candidates and the people that may be around him at the moment to move a little quicker, be a little louder, and take up the space, because if not, time is going to pass you by.
The leaders, the people, Wakenya wako bele. Yeah, hapo sio swali. Wakenya wako bele ya viongozi katika opposition. Hapo, that one is for sure. I went to some places huko where those, I think it is Teto and Uthaya, when we were battling this late minister of PCA Church. I didn't join. I drove on. I was a little hesitant to join the politics that I found taking place. So I got there and drove on. Lakini na huko, any person you find that ukiingia kwa majani chai, the ones who are picking, they'll tell you about many things, and they say mtu moja. Hapo tu ndio wanasema. So wao wako bele, and they actually waiting for this one person. That's all they are waiting for. It's amazing. We've never gotten to this level since 1963. Ukiuliza mtupatie mtu moja. And so that drive ilinisaidia kufikiria zaidi mambo ambayo tunaongea. They are really looking at one person. Yes, and they are very keen to get that one person. Na ukiwauliza ni akina nani unasema one person, they mention them. Yeah, they mention them. Wakasema hata wewe umekuwa ukisema Matiang'i, hata wewe hapa nyinyi wote mtupatie mtu moja. That's the responsibility they are putting on our shoulders.
Talking about mtu moja. We've seen
I want to agree with madam. The Kenyans are ahead. They have concluded on the issue of, in fact, there's somebody who sang a Kikuyu in a Kikuyu song, naitwa Kioni. He was saying, we know the person we are not going to elect. It is now the person we want to elect that we want to know. And it concludes the whole topic. Imaliza namna hiyo.
Talking about mtu mmoja. Now that, of course, you belong to the opposition and you've been pushing for one term.
I'm happy that you are not seeing me as a mole. Thank you.
No, it's not me seeing you as a mole. It's regarding Gachagua, the leader of DCP, who sees as a mole.
He did say me. You are the one assigning the name to me.
No, we joined the dotted lines.
I'm telling you that is unfortunate.
Yeah. So
totally unfortunate.
You people have been in the opposition since the election of Kenya Kwanza. ODM has now seen the coming up of factions. Linda Mwananchi, Linda Ground. Linda Mwananchi appears to be speaking your language too. It's led by James Orengo and Edwin Sifuna. Now that the commoners are saying mtu moja, and Sifuna's ratings, according to them, appear to have risen. Should Sifuna come, who has come late in the day, but his ratings may if they surpass the people you've been pushing, will you maybe put your weight behind Sifuna and the Linda Mwananchi, and of course just make one political juggernaut?
Like, I want to face you because you have asked a question.
Here we go.
You want to throw
of this opposition. Sifuna is not a come late. Sifuna has been there from day one. He was one of the forces behind Baba. You may not have had him as clearer as he is now because Baba was there. But when you talk you say Sifuna amekuja amechelewa, Sifuna has been very consistent. Even when you were pushing for maandamano, Sifuna was really clear, much clearer than others, like Junet and all the others. He was the person I would look at and I would know, where are we? Where is ODM? Where is Jubilee? And it is not one time we would whisper to each other's ear and say, hapa tusikubali kuchezwa. Kioni hapa tukae kwa raini. So Sifuna is not joining this thing late. I want you to go through the names and I'll tell you the others who are joining us later. And that is why you should be very careful when you look at us and think that any of us can be a mole. We were seeing you as moles. Sasa wakati mulikuwa kwa serikali. And we are happy to be joined by many others. And since we want even those in government to come and join us, we will not be calling them moles or rats or rodents or whatever, lizards or whatever. Wakuje wa Kenya tujiweke kwa serikali ambayo inatufaa. So I am telling you, the team that you are seeing with Leader Mwananchi, even the team you are seeing with Leader Ground, si ati ni Ground kusema ukweli, wanasema Leader Ground, ni mfuko kwa saa hii. Kwa sababu mfuko iko na pesa kidogo ambayo inatoka kwa sehemu nyingine. Si ati they are ni Leader mfuko. Once that is done, they will come to the Leader Mwananchi. And some of those things, individuals you are seeing in Leader Ground are very, 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 very loud supporters of Mwananchi. And you can actually see some of them cannot hold it, like Oparanya. Oparanya can't hold it for long. He is not one who is able to pretend. He will speak his mind and he'll go where his heart is.
You're saying he's pretending now?
No, he's not. He can't pretend. He said the other day, kutafutia Ruto kura, mnaifanya iwe gumu. Wacheni kusubua Sifuna. You know, if there are people you can help you run this government easily. It's like Oparanya. Oparanya was very key when Kibaki government was there and when the
planning.
Yeah, I mean he sees it as hana maneno ya kwenda huko. And some of these are the individuals you admire. So, and Oparanya, even when he was going to join the broad-based, he was with us at the command center where Mheshimiwa Karonso operates from. Na yeye alisema unaona mimi ninaenda na nimeambiwa naenda na ninaenda. He came. Hata igawa alikuwa arudi hakurudi. Mpaka wa leo tunangojea arudi atuambie, lakini hakujarudi, pengine atarudi. So I'm saying when he comes over, because I see them coming over at a given time. See ni Kenya na tulikuwa 2002. People will eventually go to her. Look at how Governor Uhuru is speaking. You know, you may also want to say that she is bullish, like you are telling me I'm bullish.
Well, she apologized on behalf of the government.
She's trying to apologize on behalf of people because of the impeachment.
Yeah.
And I was saying how I wish she could ask some of us. This opposition has nothing to do with impeachment. Impeachment was just one of the other things that helped people move to the opposition. People moved to the opposition much earlier. But the impeachment in mafuta imeongezwa, mambo imeendelea ikiongezwa, slowly. Now this finance bill that is coming, that is looking already very punitive, hiyo ni mafuta ingine. Hii kuongeza fuel to 197, umeongeza mafuta. One after the other. 7 billion shillings going to France with the French president, na anakuja kupokea hapa Kenya. Hiyo pia ni mafuta ingine. He came all the way to correct the 7 billion shillings. So, how you listen to her and say, na wewe Mama Uhuru, I wish you could ask some of us. This opposition is only growing day by day, and I can see her also. It's a matter of time before umuone badi.
So
she's
why,
also not one who
because it's interesting because you were all in the same pots together at some point. Anne Waiguru, as governor of Kirinyaga today, was an operative for former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Very clear. She was one of his point men, or woman, however you want to look at it. So for her to be apologizing on behalf of somebody, is there something that has been sensed on this ground that you talk about that is moving faster than the leaders, that she understands, okay, if we don't apologize, if we do apologize, we could get people coming back to us?
There are two categories of leaders, and unfortunately for Kenyans, they are not able to quite make out. There are leaders who follow people. But they are leaders who actually lead the people. Many of the people you are now seeing talking like, we understand, we are sorry, nini, they are the ones who want to follow people. Wanaanza kusema tunakuja pahali muko, lakini, they are explaining us to the reason why we are on our way.
Yes.
And that is why, and then they'll come and also call you moles and the rest. Maneno yote. Na kuna wale, na that's why I was looking at you a little more squarely, because you don't seem to understand the Sifuna and Babu.
And you never answered it. You'll answer it later.
You never. So it's not. The Sifuna is not a person you are fighting. Hajakuwa nyuma ya raia. Amekuwa pale mbele. And when the maandamano stopped, he moved into citizen radio thing and on the floor of the Senate, and he continued hammering, and he has won the hearts of people. And I can tell you, United Opposition, Azimio Coalition, any formation that emerges after this, if it doesn't factor in individuals like Akina Sifuna, if it doesn't take care of those of us who are also there from the beginning, and you come and throw them by the side, you are not being fair to Kenyans who have also stood out there for that long. It is also called betrayal, which is something that you must be very, very careful about, because Kenyans are also very loyal to those people who have also stood with them. And that is why you see them responding quickly to Babu, Leader Mwananchi, or James Olengo. People who are able to tell Bamba, ni kweli tunakusikia, lakini safari unaenda, hatuwezi tukakuachilia uende, lakini sio sawa. He was saying sio sawa. Hii karatasi nitasoma kwa sababu I'm the SG, lakini ukiniuliza kwa roho yangu, I don't believe in it. And that's the role of the SG. That is why you'll hear me a little more different than before.
Mheshimiwa, that question was not conclusively responded to. Of all the crop of leaders in the United Opposition and Linda Mwananchi that appear to be maybe suitable for the presidential candidate position, not running mate, presidential candidate, Sifuna might be among them. Will you, the oldies, maybe throw your weight behind Sifuna, if all of you, because there is a feeling in opposition, which of course you may deny at this particular point, there's a feeling in the opposition that if Matiang'i is given the flag bearer, then the Rigathi team is uncomfortable. Likewise, if Rigathi is given this a mantle, your team and Matiang'i, you are uncomfortable. And so, Kalonzo or Sifuna appear to be compromised and acceptable candidates. Should they come? Can you people throw your weight behind Sifuna? These are things that siku ile ulisema mimi niko na fitina. Leo umesema
No, I don't think I don't think one is I don't think there are a couple of things that are already out there that will have a lot of bearing in the direction that we go. But I do not think that at myself and Matiang'i we are uncomfortable with Rigi and no. It's that I was campaigning very hard for Matiang'i. That time he was out of the country.
Yes.
Now he is in the country. He's the one pushing the iyo gari. Mimi yangu sasa ni kukaa nyuma kukaa pale nyikiti ya si hata kiti kwa pick up unakaa pale nyuma unaangalia ikirukaruka.
Okay.
But and by the way, any person who thought because of the question you had asked earlier on the presidential candidature of Matiang'i in Jubilee, that is a dandy thing because it is decided by the NDC. Not mambo ingine na makaratasi mnasukusha hapa kwa hewa. And we will be having our NDC, but if anybody wants to join the bad wagon, we still have the NDC law, and you don't even need to be a peer party leader or a deputy party leader to be a candidate. You only need to be a member of Jubilee. So awezi ukasukuma hiyo kwa makaratasi hapa kwa barabara na mambo mengine. But I was saying we have signed to it that whoever it is that is picked by the United Opposition, we will rally behind that person. But what you have said is very, very important. Wewe mwenyewe umesema huyu akiuzwa au ataruka. Au akiuza huyu ataruka. You know, that then says you need a compromise person. This compromise person, again, like I was telling you, what are the characteristics of a mole? You must come up with characteristics of this person who is a compromise candidate. And that's where the challenge comes. You start looking for those characteristics and you can actually see, because you need all these people to agree to this person. So in a classroom, where unaweza kuwa wewe ndio unaonekana ukiwa hatari sana kwa sababu you are in a maths or a chemistry class. Lakini tukienda kwa biolojia haujui kichwa na mkia ya mnyama, you know, then you become also a liability. So we need to look for a person who can do maths, a bit of maths, who can do a bit of geography, who can do a bit of this, and can be able to give us the average person in this class who can help us move.
You know something about everything. Not knowing everything about
yes,
something.
but who can be able to be, let me say this position eventually will go with a person who is least threatening to all the people in the room.
Right.
Least
threatening to everybody.
Or least.
You know, if you press Mheshimiwa Kioni, you'll just mention names.
I would.
Don't press him.
Well, let's mention. How about mention? Okay, well, let's mention one name.
You have to sit there, and I will mention the name. The name is Kibaki.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Are you
okay,
getting?
Thank
Are
you,
you seeing?
Mheshimiwa.
Kibaki just sat there.
So you're talking about the past.
Called him he was called the fence sitter, General Kigwaya.
Kigwaya.
And eventually people said, this guy looks harmless. Or I feel I'll be less fearful with the presidency of this individual. That is how, when you're in this kind of a scenario, that's where you end. And I want to say this. If I were eyeing 2027, I would have done what I was trying to do a little earlier to avoid getting to this position. Where you emerge as a clear favorite. If you emerge as a clear favorite early alone in the game, then you don't subject yourself to this. If Sifuna movement had started a little earlier than where we are, it's likely that everybody would be following that. Because kila mtu alikuwa you take off and go. And I can tell you this is what even Ligiji has been trying to do. Only that he's done it in one region. Other regions have not responded to that kind of a ticket in that manner.
Okay.
So now that we are where we are, it then calls for everybody to come into the room. And I blame the presidential candidates who were not able to take off and give us a clear
direction.
Lead much earlier. But where we are today, you will have to sit around and see who is this
the least threatening to everybody.
Yes.
We can't let the time go without us asking this question because it's come out in public debate as well. And you've mentioned his name a couple of times, and that's a name we will mention. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader of the Jubilee Party. And it has come out that, he should not be in a position where he's actively influencing politics because it is unlawful. It is, What is your position? And you also have talked about the fact that the party leader will veto on certain things, and that party leader happens to be President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, just because he ceases to be president,
it's another debate that
doesn't mean that he will never open his mouth politically again.
It's unfortunate.
But what is your position about this?
One is that if UDA, the ones who are screaming all over that he should retire from politics, what I had even the Speaker of the National Assembly saying things that were sounding very...
Interesting, there's a word.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Use that one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now you know me. You see, if they had not given us the difficulties they did in Jubilee, Uhuru has been on record saying in an NDC that the next NDC I want to hand over. But they kept him in court for more than 3 years, trying to steal the party by force, while he had prepared himself to hand over the party to another group by a given date. And when you say that, yes, that was going to happen, it doesn't mean that you are wishing him off quickly, like some people with some vernacular language would want us to think. But the reality is that it will happen at one point or another. And it also helps me to inform this debate in this way. When we were doing our 2010 constitution, this was a discussion. And the question was, where will the former members, former heads of state, and personalities in this country be in the event that we need them? And we talked of a council of elders. We even talked of having them have an opportunity to go into the Senate and inform the country from time to time. And we were talking of former heads of state, former AGs, former CJs, and you can actually see those personalities wasting away. And Tim Malaka wants to come back and be a president. But if he was sitting or there was a council of elders, they would be able to say, pahali munaenda sio mzuri, and then they will not be blamed for having jumped being one. Number two is that we who are running active politics, then you have a place you can go to and ask, tukifika hapa, nyinyi munaonaje? Because they sit at a very useful point.
Eminent persons.
Yes. And countries that that progress better are the ones that have those. US, they're always talking about their former head of state. Look at the way they treat, even when they are going to functions. They have a lot to
play.
And they are expected there. And it's an institutional thing. So when we talk about the head of state in the form of Uhuru Kenyatta, he's giving us an opportunity as a country to start having that kind of an institution, formally or informally. But to start bad-mouthing him, denying him parks, saying he should retire, he is making a mistake, that's a scared individual, a politician who is actually not worth the position he's holding. A Speaker of the National Assembly should be saying things better of a former member of parliament who has attained that stature. I don't know what his ambition is. As in, if he is really aspiring to be ahead of this state, he should be thinking of how do we deal with these people. Remember, there was a time we had Uhuru, Moi, and Kibaki. And it was a beautiful thing to see. I mean, so we should not be bad-mouthing those individuals, denying them their insurances, medical covers, kuwanyima magali. You know, I mean, that's too petty. And also taking all the time in funerals talking about them.
When we actually have things
wape ruhusa waende kanisa. Patia ruhusa vijana wapate kuongea na wao so that they can also gain some,
insights.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it should be.
Jeremiah Kioni is the deputy party leader of the Jubilee Party and has been here with us this morning. At least you've answered, a number of things because we were questioning about certain positions. Some of those things have come up very clearly and then gives us insights into how this thing will all play out. Looking forward to the next one, Jeremiah. Asante sana.
Asante sana. Thank you so much.
Asante.
Nimefurahia kukutana na ndugu yangu. Lakini yeye si mtu ya fitina.
You know where you will meet. Good morning, 9 a.m.
Good morning. Yes.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
Good morning. This is Daniel Zoya. I'm Sheila Timbor. The IBC has warned that a funding shortfall of about 33.
This is the Situation Room. The only way to start your day.